Welcome back to Fit for Rafting, and in today's episode I want to talk about confidence on the river and both off the river, and that's especially in light of having injuries. So before we get into it, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're getting updates from us. But let's dive into it. I was in a Facebook group and I saw a gal had posted that she was starting to experience some difficulty with confidence on the river. She's had an injury and she's coming back off that injury, and now she's starting to feel kind of timid about rivers coming up and what she's going to go out and run. Seems this gal had an arm injury. So I've had a few experiences with injuries myself, going from class 4-5 paddler to barely being able to do class 2. So those injuries have definitely hit my confidence like really hard. And I feel like those sorts of things are failures that help teach us lessons. And they're going to help teach us lessons about where our mind is at and what we're mentally able to handle and where our mental fortitude is at. Because those types of failures really hit you hard as a paddler. There's a lot of ego in paddling, and whether you're kayaking or rafting, when you're running down a river, it's a lot of your physical strength, your physical ability, your skill, your knowledge, your ability to understand how the river's moving. Those sorts of things really cut right to the core of an athlete's physical ability to do something. And it's not always your physical ability. Sometimes you physically can't do it, but you have the skills at a higher level. So in terms of confidence, I picked something up from martial arts years ago, and it was about building up your base. Every time you walk into a martial arts class, the first thing you do is just a basic punch. They want you to be able to have that punch down, because if you can't just do one basic punch, then you can't build on those skills. Also, as you train, a lot of people in the sports industry talk about what happens when you become engaged in physical activity at the edge of your ability level. And what happens is you get a lot of stress, you get a lot of anxiety, and you revert back to your lowest level that you can do something at. So training is one thing that people say can build up that level. If you want to operate at a high level, you have to train at a high level. And if you're to the point where, let's say you got injured, like this gal on Facebook, and you feel like you're having a hard time, one of those things going through your mind is, if you're ready to commit to going onto the river, that means you're in a good physical state, or I should say a good enough physical state that you can perform at the lowest level possible to get you down the river. And if you're at least there, that's a great thing, because that's going to help springboard you back into doing more and more whitewater. But the first thing is physical ability. When you aren't feeling 100%, and I've talked about this before, when you don't have the physical ability that you think you can make it down, that causes some problems, and it causes some really fundamental problems for your mind. So what we want to do is we want to train. And whether it's just a few push-ups, building up those muscles is going to help us as boaters to be able to say, I know I can make it down this river. I know I can make that move. Because once you come off an injury, and I felt this myself with my shoulder, I messed up my shoulder and I thought, I can't make that move in that class 4 rapid. I probably shouldn't be running class 4 right now. But once I was able to build my shoulder back up to the point where I said, okay, I know I can make that paddle stroke. I know I can make that maneuver to shoot through the rapid. That's when I knew, okay, I got my confidence back so that I can start running class 4 again. So these sorts of things are really critical. And each of these is kind of a little failure. And I think failure is a good thing. We need to embrace that and embrace the fact that, maybe we got pulled back a little bit. This is an opportunity to work on our skills, to work on our physical strength, and to build up our skills even stronger than before. Your muscles do that naturally. Let's say you're doing push-ups or pull-ups or any sort of exercise in in that way. What'll happen is your muscles get micro tears and they'll start to break down a little bit, but they build back up stronger. So when you're feeling like, oh, I got injured, I don't know if I can make it, I don't know if I can make those moves, I don't know if I can go out there. If you were able to do it in the past, there's a good chance you have those skills already built up here. However, physically you're feeling down here. But if we can get that physical ability up and up and up and up and up and up, back to the point where our skills are matching our physical ability, then we can start pushing ourselves again. But until that point, what I say is go back to the basics. Go back to class 2 boating. Even if you're paddling around on a lake or something like that, at least you're out paddling. And that's going to help you start feeling more confident. You'll be able to make the strokes. You'll be able to paddle more. And you'll be a lot stronger in the end. So what I would say is if it takes you 20 days on class 2 and you're fumbling around and failing the whole time, and maybe you're pulling your skirt if you're a kayaker and swimming, or you're falling out of the raft and swimming rapids, at least if you're swimming in class 2, if it took you 20 swims before you're back to the point where you're running class 3 again, well, fail faster. Go out there, paddle more, swim 20 times, get it over with, get stronger, and get back out there. That failure is a good thing. It helps build you up in the end. And your physical ability, it's not everything. Part of it is your mental fortitude and your ability to navigate rapids through your skill. Not just physical strength, but physical strength does play a big part in that. So I would encourage you, if you are experiencing an injury or you are experiencing some physical setback, that you give yourself time to heal for one. But after you heal, make sure you seek out that failure, seek out the ability to mess up a little bit, and do it in an environment that's not going to cause you a whole ton of problems. Don't be jumping back into class 4, but start in your class 2, class 3, class 4. Build your way back up. Build your strength up and train with a purpose. That's what's going to get you there, is training with a purpose, making sure that you can do all the push-ups, do all the pull-ups, make sure you can do the paddle strokes, make sure you can swim if you have to. So go out there, do the exercises, make sure you're working hard every day at that, and that's going to make you become such a better paddler. So I hope this helps you guys, and if you have questions, of course, please leave those down in the comments, and as always, we will see you guys downriver.